Sometimes silence is not absence. It is control. It is the quiet confidence of someone who no longer needs to prove anything to anyone. Welcome to Stoic Valor, where every word you hear is meant to strengthen the core of who you are and remind you that calmness is power, and presence is the highest form of attractiveness. We live in a world addicted to noise. Everyone wants to be seen, heard, validated. Yet the paradox is that the most magnetic people, the ones who draw others effortlessly, rarely seek attention. They do not speak to impress. They speak when necessary. Their silence carries meaning, and their presence fills the room. This, in its essence, is the silent attractiveness of the Stoic mind. To understand how to be silently attractive, we must first understand what Stoicism truly teaches about presence, power, and perception. The Stoics were not men of arrogance or vanity. They were individuals who sought mastery over the only domain that truly belongs to them, the self. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." That mastery is not shown through words, but through composure, through the ability to remain calm while the world trembles, through the way one walks, listens, and responds. The Stoics believed that true beauty comes from alignment, when your actions reflect your principles, and your principles are governed by reason. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor philosopher, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." This is silent attraction in its purest form, the kind that emanates from being, not performing. You do not tell people who you are. You show it in the way you exist. Modern culture often equates attractiveness with appearance, status, or charisma. But these are temporary masks. Stoicism reminds us that real magnetism is inner steadiness, the unshakable calm of someone who knows their worth, who can endure discomfort without complaint, who can listen without needing to dominate the conversation. In the society where everyone shouts, the man or woman who remains composed speaks volumes. Silent attractiveness begins with restraint. Is the art of not reacting to every impulse, not giving energy to trivialities, not seeking validation from the crowd. Seneca once wrote, "He who is brave is free." And bravery, in this sense, is the courage to be unmoved by external chaos. When you cultivate this internal stillness, your presence begins to change. People notice, even if you say nothing, there is a certain gravity to a calm soul. Think of the ocean. Its surface may seem still, but beneath lies immense depth. The same applies to a Stoic presence. It is not emptiness, it is quiet strength. It is patience that comes from understanding that everything external is temporary. The Stoics viewed emotions not as enemies, but as forces to be disciplined. Anger, jealousy, fear, each one loses its power when faced with awareness and control. The person who governs their emotions becomes irresistibly magnetic because they radiate something rare: peace. Let's pause and visualize a simple moment. You walk into a room full of noise, chatter, distractions. Some people are loud, desperate to be noticed. Yet there is one person, calm, composed, listening intently, not needing to be the center. People's eyes drift toward that person. Why? Because stillness stands out in a world of chaos. Silent attractiveness is not about trying to be mysterious. It's about being at ease with yourself. Ryan Holiday, one of the modern voices of Stoicism, said in the Daily Stoic, "To be calm is the highest achievement of the self." And he is right. Calmness requires mastery. It means you no longer depend on others to confirm your worth. You can handle silence, solitude, rejection without losing yourself. That is the energy that attracts, the kind that makes people wonder what you have discovered about life that they haven't yet. A Stoic understands that words lose power when used excessively. Every phrase must be intentional, measured, and necessary. The same applies to actions. The silently attractive person does not overcompensate or exaggerate. They act in alignment with purpose. This self-control makes them reliable, trustworthy, grounded. Others are drawn to them not because they are loud, but because they embody stability in an unstable world. there is a quiet dignity in living by principle. When you stop chasing recognition, recognition finds you. When you no longer seek to be admired, admiration arises naturally. People can feel authenticity. They can sense when your silence comes from confidence rather than insecurity. The Stoic path teaches you to cultivate that inner fortress so that your worth no longer depends on applause, attention, or validation. In Stoic philosophy, attraction is not a goal. It is a consequence of integrity, calm, and strength. The moment you live in accordance with reason and virtue, you emit an energy that cannot be faked. Your presence becomes comforting to some, intimidating to others, but undeniable to all. Silent attractiveness is about rhythm, slowness in speech, gentleness in movement, intention in behavior. You are not in a rush to prove, persuade, or perform. You exist with clarity. You do not talk to fill silence. You talk to communicate meaning. And when you stop needing to impress, your value multiplies. Epictetus taught that what upsets people is not things themselves, but their judgments about things. This awareness is the core of composure. When you understand that events are neutral and your interpretation gives them power, you stop reacting impulsively. You become emotionally independent. That independence is one of the most magnetic traits a human can possess. It means no one controls your peace. You cannot be easily provoked or swayed. In today's culture, where quick reactions and emotional outbursts dominate, the ability to remain unshaken is almost superhuman. That is why it draws others in. It signals strength. The silently attractive person doesn't dominate others through fear, but through calm authority. Their confidence is understated but firm. It is the kind of presence that makes others feel both safe and curious. Seneca once said, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." The Stoic attractive individual focuses on the moment, not on distractions. They are fully present in conversation, attentive to detail, mindful of their words. They do not multitask life. They experience it with full awareness. This presence creates an aura of intensity without effort. People feel heard, seen, respected, and that is magnetic. Every Stoic habit, when practiced consistently, refines this silent magnetism. Discipline shapes your character. Stillness deepens your perception. Gratitude keeps you grounded. Simplicity amplifies your peace. You begin to see that true attractiveness has little to do with looks and everything to do with energy. It's the quiet energy of someone who knows who they are and doesn't need to prove it. You can sense when someone has found that peace. Their movements are deliberate, their tones soft but firm, their gaze steady. They do not rush to fill silences or dominate attention. Their confidence whispers rather than shouts. They have learned the Stoic truth that everything external, beauty, wealth, praise, comes and goes. What remains is character. So the first step toward being silently attractive is to master your inner dialogue. Observe your thoughts, question your impulses, and choose calm over chaos. Ask yourself before reacting, is this under my control? If it is, act with wisdom. If it isn't, let it go. The more you practice this discipline, the more peace you radiate. And peace, in a world addicted to noise, is the ultimate form of allure. Silent attractiveness is not about detachment from life, but engagement with it from a place of balance. It is about walking through storms with quiet eyes, unafraid of losing what was never truly yours. It is about valuing depth over display, presence over performance, peace over popularity. And the Stoics knew, centuries before psychology confirmed it, that humans are drawn not to those who speak the most, but to those whose silence carries meaning. If you want to become silently attractive, it's not about memorizing tricks or pretending to be calm. It's about training your mind until serenity becomes your natural state. The Stoics didn't speak of charm. They spoke of virtue in action. Attraction, they would say, is the byproduct of inner order. And that order is built one habit at a time. Let's begin where every transformation begins, the morning. The Stoics treated the morning as sacred, a time to prepare the mind for the inevitable storms of the day. Marcus Aurelius would rise before dawn and write to himself, "Today I shall meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial." Why did he do that? Because by expecting the chaos, he robbed it of its power. You too can begin your day in silence, setting your mind not for comfort but for strength. Before you reach for your phone, breathe. Sit still for 1 minute and remind yourself, I control my perception. This tiny pause reclaims your mind from the digital noise that enslaves most people. That single minute of stillness is not small. It's an act of rebellion. It's how you begin to emit that quiet energy others will feel later in your day. Habit 1. Morning reflection. Each morning, take 5 minutes to anticipate what's ahead. Picture difficulties not as threats, but as chances to practice patience. Write one short intention, something like, "Today I will respond calmly." Over time, these reflections anchor your emotional balance. Silent attractiveness starts long before anyone sees you. It begins in the invisible discipline of your thoughts. Habit 2. Speak less, mean more. Seneca taught that speech is a mirror of the soul. When you slow your words, when you measure your tone, people instinctively lean closer. They feel your calm. They sense your certainty. It's not about withholding expression. It's about removing the unnecessary. Practice this. Before speaking, ask, is this kind? Is this necessary? Does it serve purpose? If not, let silence speak for you. The more selective your words, the stronger their weight. Habit 3. Posture of presence. Your body speaks even when your mouth doesn't. A stoic posture, open shoulders, relaxed gaze, still movements, communicates calm authority. Move slowly, not out of laziness but control. When you walk into a room, breathe deeply. Look around with interest, not judgment. Presence isn't about dominance. It's about attention. The world notices those who truly see it. The Stoics practiced mindful awareness long before modern psychology gave it a name. They believed the mind must be trained to observe itself. Every emotion, every thought, every reaction, witness it without becoming it. Epictetus said, "When something happens, the only thing in your power is your attitude toward it." That is the secret of composure. Try this throughout your day. When something irritates you, instead of reacting, say silently, "This is an opportunity to remain calm." That reframe turns discomfort into practice. Habit 4. The pause between stimulus and response. There is always a gap, a sacred space, between what happens and how you respond. Most people live enslaved by impulses. A Stoic uses that gap to breathe, reflect, and choose. This is what separates the reactive from the magnetic. When someone insults you, stay still. When plans fail, inhale slowly. When things go wrong, smile slightly. That pause is invisible power, and it's addictive to witness. Habit 5. The quiet routine. Dedicate moments of silence daily, not as meditation in a ritualistic sense, but as communion with yourself. Turn off the noise, music, screens, chatter, and walk in nature or sit alone. Let your mind settle. The Stoics called this ataraxia, tranquil clarity. When you cultivate that silence, your mind becomes a mirror. It reflects, not reacts. And people feel drawn to those who radiate clarity amid confusion. Imagine two people. One is restless, constantly seeking validation through social media, conversation, or attention. The other lives quietly focused, serene. Which one draws you in? You know the answer. True attractiveness doesn't scream. It resonates. Habit 6. Restraint in emotion. This doesn't mean repression. It means sovereignty. Anger, envy, and pride are emotional debts. They drain your energy. The Stoic way is to respond, not react. When anger rises, pause and ask, will this matter tomorrow? When envy whispers, say, I already have enough. When pride flares, remind yourself, everything I have can be taken. Such reminders are not weakness, they are refinement. In your interactions, practice active listening. When others speak, focus completely. Don't think of your reply. Absorb their meaning. Listening is a rare art. It communicates respect and depth. People are instinctively attracted to those who make them feel heard, not judged. The Stoics valued understanding more than winning arguments. The silently attractive person doesn't interrupt. They observe, nod, reflect. Their calm attention transforms ordinary conversation into connection. Habit 7. Controlled energy. You can feel it in some people. Their presence commands the room without noise. They are grounded but alert, calm but not passive. You can cultivate this energy by mastering your breathing. When anxiety or tension appears, slow down your breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, exhale slowly through your mouth. This physiological calm communicates subconscious authority. The more you master your breath, the more you master your presence. Habit 8. Simplicity in lifestyle. The Stoics lived modestly. They saw excess as a trap, a way to lose clarity. Seneca warned, "It is not the man who has little, but the man who craves more who is poor." Simplify your surroundings, your commitments, even your wardrobe. Each layer of simplicity sharpens your essence. People can sense when you're not burdened by need or pretense. That lightness is irresistible. Habit 9. Integrity in action. Silent attractiveness thrives on consistency. Say what you mean, do what you say, and don't announce it. Integrity is invisible beauty. It glows through behavior. You cannot fake congruence. When your words and deeds align, others trust you, even subconsciously. Stoics lived by virtues, moral strength. They knew that real elegance comes from doing the right thing quietly. Habit 10. Gratitude under pressure. When life challenges you, most complain. Few express gratitude, but a Stoic sees trials as training. Next time adversity hits, whisper to yourself, "This is teaching me resilience." That simple shift transforms frustration into grace. People notice those who remain thankful amid hardship. They sense depth in them, a kind of noble endurance that inspires respect. Habit 11. Evening reflection. The Stoics ended their days as warriors returning from battle with reflection. Seneca wrote that each night he questioned his own soul. What bad habit have you cured today? What fault have you resisted? In what way are you better? Do the same. Write a few lines before sleep. Be honest, not harsh. This ritual polishes your character one night at a time. Silent attractiveness grows when you live deliberately. If you apply even a few of these habits, your demeanor will begin to shift. You'll find yourself speaking less, thinking more, and feeling calm where you once felt rushed. You'll notice people looking at you differently, not because you changed your appearance, but because your energy became steady. You'll become a mirror of stillness in a world that fears silence. Remember, silent attractiveness is not manipulation, it's evolution. It's not pretending to be calm to gain attention. It's becoming calm because you no longer need attention. It's power without noise. The Stoics would say that this kind of beauty cannot be faked, because it's not about what others see, it's about what you are. You do not have to announce your transformation. Let others feel it. Speak less, listen deeply, move deliberately, live slowly, and soon your silence will speak louder than any performance ever could. If this message is resonating with you, don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Valor, because here we don't just reflect, we transform. In a world of endless noise, true calm has become revolutionary. People post every thought, every meal, every fleeting emotion, hoping to be seen. Yet the most magnetic individuals often remain unseen until they decide to step forward. They are quiet, steady, deliberate. They do not compete with chaos. They stand apart from it. Think of that coworker who never boasts, never rushes to take credit, yet everyone trusts them. Their voice is calm, their energy stable, and when they finally speak, everyone listens. That is silent attractiveness in motion. It's not glamour, it's gravity. The quiet weight of composure in an unstable world. Now contrast that with another image. Someone constantly checking their phone, interrupting others, speaking over them, eager to prove their worth. You can feel the difference. One draws energy from presence, the other drains it. The first person has discovered what the Stoics taught centuries ago, that you do not attract through noise, but through alignment. Modern psychology now confirms what Marcus Aurelius practiced daily. Stillness signals confidence. In his book, Stillness is the Key, Ryan Holiday explains that calm is contagious. When you walk into a room composed, others subconsciously align with your rhythm. Your peace becomes an anchor in their storm. Silent attractiveness is not about control over others. It's about influence through example. Consider a modern story. There's a man, let's call him David, who used to be the loudest in every room. His laughter was exaggerated, his conversations self-centered. But behind that noise was fear, the fear of being ignored. One day he read a line by Epictetus: "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." It hit him. He realized his noise was armor, so he began to practice silence. At first, it was uncomfortable. He wanted to defend, to explain, to fill the gaps. But he forced himself to listen more, to speak less, to breathe before reacting. Months passed. Slowly, something shifted. People began to approach him differently. They trusted his opinion, even when he didn't offer it. He didn't chase attention anymore. It came naturally. That's what happens when your ego quiets down. Your energy speaks louder than your words ever could. Another example, a woman named Elena. She worked in a fast-paced environment, surrounded by constant comparison. Her peers fought for validation, trying to prove their worth through appearances and recognition. But Elena practiced Stoic journaling. Each morning she wrote 3 lines. "Today I'll be calm. Today I'll be kind. Today I'll need nothing." It became her mantra. Soon people noticed. She no longer reacted to office drama, gossip, or unfair criticism. When others panicked, she remained poised. Her silence wasn't submission, it was mastery. Managers began to trust her with more responsibility. Friends sought her for advice. Her composure became her magnetism. She wasn't the loudest, but she was unforgettable. That's the paradox of Stoic attraction. When you stop trying to be noticed, you become impossible to ignore. In another instance, think about a common social setting, a dinner, a party, a meeting. Most people compete for attention, laughter, or recognition. Yet the most captivating person might be the one simply present. Not distracted, not fidgeting, not rehearsing what to say next. They listen. They smile lightly. Their eyes are steady. People feel seen, not judged. That experience is rare, and rarity breeds attraction. The Stoics understood that emotions, especially reactivity, reveal who truly governs you. Anger, jealousy, arrogance, they're all signs of lost control. When you meet someone who stays calm under tension, it's both disarming and inspiring. It's what Seneca meant when he wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay. In that delay lies power." Now let's explore the contrast. Imagine someone insults you in public. The common instinct is to defend yourself, to retaliate. But the Stoic response is stillness. Look at them, acknowledge their emotion, and simply say, "I understand," or even nothing at all. You walk away calm. You haven't lost face. You've demonstrated mastery. That's silent dominance. People misinterpret calmness as weakness, but it's the opposite. It's self-command. The one who cannot be provoked is the one truly in control. That's why silent attractiveness feels powerful. It's not aggression, it's certainty. You can see this everywhere in modern culture. The person who remains composed in crisis becomes a leader, not because they shout orders, but because their steadiness invites trust. In relationships, the one who doesn't beg, doesn't chase, but simply stands with self-respect becomes magnetic. In business, the one who keeps clarity under stress earns authority. Ryan Holiday wrote, "Ego is the enemy." And he's right. Ego shouts, peace whispers. When your ego dissolves, your value multiplies. The Stoic learns to act, not react, to speak with purpose, not impulse. And that discipline, visible in body language and tone, makes silence feel royal. James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, adds a modern perspective. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Silent attractiveness is not an act you perform occasionally, it's a system of living. You build it by repeating small disciplines daily, slowing your reactions, mastering your breath, choosing composure over confrontation. Let's examine emotional contrasts. Two people face rejection. One becomes bitter, defensive, loud, trying to convince the world they're fine. The other simply nods, learns, and moves forward quietly. Which one holds more dignity? Which one draws more respect? Pain handled with grace is magnetic. It's the reflection of someone who no longer depends on external outcomes for internal peace. We can also look at athletes, artists, or leaders who embody this spirit. The martial artist who bows before and after every match, knowing that victory and defeat are both transient. The artist who creates for love of craft, not applause. The leader who listens more than they speak. Each one radiates something timeless, a composed presence built through humility and self-control. Silent attractiveness thrives in contrast. In a room full of noise, calm becomes presence. In a world obsessed with appearance, authenticity becomes a lure. In a society addicted to validation, self-sufficiency becomes power. This principle doesn't only apply socially, it applies romantically too. People are drawn to those who don't need them to feel complete. Neediness repels, wholeness attracts. The Stoic understands that attachment must never override self-command. Love freely but never lose your balance. Give attention but not your peace. That balance is both mysterious and magnetic. Modern thinkers like Mark Manson echo this timeless truth. In The Subtle Art of Not Giving AFK, he writes that true confidence comes not from convincing others, but from accepting yourself as imperfect and moving forward anyway. The Stoics said the same centuries ago. Your worth is not determined by approval, but by virtue. There's another modern parallel: social media. Every scroll exposes you to curated perfection, endless comparison, emotional triggers. But what if you approached it stoically? What if instead of reacting, you observed? Instead of posting for attention, you shared with intention? Instead of competing, you created from peace? That's how silent attractiveness translates to the digital age. Calm amidst chaos, value over vanity. The contrast is stark. Noise is everywhere, but silence is scarce. That's why the one who remains serene becomes unforgettable. Think of the quiet student in the classroom who says little but observes everything. Their words, when they come, carry impact. Think of the leader who doesn't need to yell to be respected. Their silence commands more than others' noise ever could. This way of being, composed, centered, self-assured, is not a facade. It's cultivated through the Stoic disciplines of awareness, gratitude, restraint, and integrity. It's lived, not performed. It is not about manipulating perception. It's about embodying presence so completely that perception aligns naturally. When you begin to live this way, your energy changes. You stop rushing, you stop proving, you stop chasing. You start existing with weight and meaning. People will ask, why are you so calm? They'll notice your tone, your posture, your patience. And that's when you'll realize you've become what the Stoics envisioned. A soul in harmony, radiating quiet power. Silent attractiveness is not a mask. It's a mirror. It reflects your discipline, your peace, your values. And those who encounter it will feel something rare, something words cannot describe. Silence is not emptiness. It is the sound of mastery. When you reach the point where you no longer need to prove, convince, or explain, you enter a realm few ever find. The realm of inner power. The Stoics lived there. They walked among chaos with calm faces and unshakable hearts. They were warriors without noise, leaders without ego, thinkers without pride. That's what it means to be silently attractive, to embody strength without aggression, wisdom without arrogance, love without attachment. Remember how this began. The most magnetic people in any room are the ones who do not demand attention. They earn it by presence alone. You cannot fake this. You cannot imitate stillness. You must become it. To become silently attractive is to build a sanctuary within yourself, an inner temple where noise cannot enter. It's where your self-respect, your discipline, and your serenity reside, untouched by the opinions of others. In a culture that glorifies performance, being calm is rebellion. You will be misunderstood. Some will mistake your silence for indifference, your calm for coldness. But as Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be willing to be thought foolish. Let them misunderstand. Their judgment is their noise, not yours. You are not here to be seen. You are here to be centered. Think of every great Stoic figure. Marcus Aurelius led armies, ruled an empire, and yet he began every morning reminding himself of humility and mortality. He wrote in private, never imagining the world would read his words centuries later. That's silent greatness, the kind that doesn't announce itself. Seneca advised emperors yet lived with minimal possessions. Epictetus, born a slave, taught freedom of the soul. Each of them radiated that quiet authority that only self-mastery brings. To live stoically is to live attractively, because the person who governs their impulses, honors their word, and accepts reality without complaint becomes unbreakable. And what is more attractive than peace in human form? Let's bring this into your world. Every morning, you face countless chances to react, to traffic, to messages, to people who test your patience. But every one of those moments is also a chance to practice the art of stillness. Every reaction you restrain strengthens your control. Every silence you choose over argument refines your power. Every act of patience deepens your presence. You do not have to chase anything, not approval, not validation, not admiration. They will come as shadows follow light, because when your inner world is ordered, your outer world reflects it. Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion, it's about directing it wisely. It's about feeling deeply, but acting deliberately. And that is where silent attraction is born. In relationships, this principle becomes sacred. The Stoic does not cling, manipulate, or beg for love. They offer it freely and stand firmly in their worth. They know that peace is more seductive than pressure, that understanding is stronger than dominance, that emotional independence is irresistible. People will feel safe with you, not because you never get angry, but because your anger never owns you. Not because you never speak, but because your words always mean something. Your presence becomes medicine in a noisy world, a calm face in chaos, a steady voice when everyone else trembles. This is not arrogance, it is centeredness. The Stoic doesn't say, I am better. They say, I am aligned. Robin Sharma once wrote, the quieter you become, the more you can hear. That's not just poetic, it's truth. Silence expands perception. You notice things others miss, tone, energy, tension. You respond, not react. You sense rather than assume, and that awareness is power. Now imagine your life lived this way, not in bursts of calm, but as a steady rhythm. You wake with purpose, speak with intention, move with balance. You need less from the world, and because of that, the world gives you more. You no longer chase attention, you command it naturally. That's the Stoic paradox. By letting go of control, you gain it. By quieting your ego, you amplify your essence. Seneca once said, a gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Every challenge you face is your polishing stone. Every insult, rejection, and frustration is refining your composure. The Stoic doesn't ask for ease, they ask for endurance. And through endurance, you glow differently. That glow, that steady, silent light, is what others feel when they are near you. So when life tests you, remember, this is practice. When you're tempted to shout, breathe. When you're hurt, observe. When you're overlooked, smile. You do not need to prove your worth to anyone who cannot see it. The Stoic knows that self-respect does not shout, it whispers. And the ones who can hear that whisper are the ones who belong in your world. As you continue on this path, understand this truth. Silent attractiveness isn't about charm, it's about character. It's the result of years of inner work, of choosing peace over reaction, of seeking virtue over vanity. You can wear it like invisible armor. It doesn't protect you from pain, but it keeps pain from ruling you, and one day, without realizing it, you'll notice something extraordinary. People will start asking you questions like, "How are you so calm?" Or "Why do I feel at ease around you?" They won't be able to explain it, but you'll know. It's the power of stillness, the echo of Stoicism expressed through your being. We began this journey with a single thought: that silence can be a form of attraction. Now, as we end, you can see that it is not silence itself that draws others, but the peace behind it. The world is desperate for grounded souls, for people who do not crumble, who do not chase, who simply are. Be that person. Be the calm amid chaos, the still water reflecting strength. So ask yourself now, as Marcus Aurelius once did, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Let your actions become your statement, your calm, your conversation, your silence, your strength. Every day is a chance to refine this art. Every reaction you master, every silence you hold, every virtue you practice, it all builds that invisible magnetism the Stoics understood so well. You do not have to be the loudest to be powerful. You simply have to be still enough to feel that power within. And so we return to where we began. Sometimes silence is not absence, it's wisdom accumulated. It's the quiet presence of someone who no longer needs to prove, because they have already become. If these words have resonated with you, if something inside you feels the pull towards stillness, then let this be your next step. Subscribe to Stoic Valor, not just to listen, but to practice. Because here, we don't chase strength, we build it. We don't speak about peace, we become it. Walk quietly, but with purpose. Speak little, but with meaning. Live simply, but with virtue. And you'll discover what the Stoics knew all along, that true power never shouts, it breathes.